OMG. Cheater, pumpkin, Peter? Hold up. Wait a second. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of What's That?
Sister Chat.
We have Cece Cheney here today, as well as myself, Sharice. And y'all, let me tell y'all, I found out recently that the one and only Mr. Peter Gunz, Peter Panky, aka Mr. Uptown Baby, is going to be the new host of Cheaters, an American classic. So, Cece,
Yes, girl.
girl, you know I had to come and talk to you about this because I remember back in the day when I was staying with you and you used to watch Cheaters.
I did. I used to love Cheaters. I used to watch a lot of reality TV, including Love and Hip Hop New York, where Peter Gunz was introduced to me for the first time. So yes. Yes. When you said that title over, I was like, oh snap. Two worlds are colliding.
I'm just saying, you know. So obviously, for those of you who don't know the show Cheaters, basically the whole premise is that there are obviously two people. One person in the couple thinks that they are being cheated on, so they hire these sort of private investigators, the AKA Cheaters crew, to go and do this investigation and to see whether or not their partner is cheating on them. Usually on this show, Cheaters, the answer is yes, you are being cheated on. And then not only do they show you video and, like obviously like make your feelings be hurt, they, they also take you literally to the person, usually when they're in the act of cheating, for a confrontation, right? For what is going on up in here moment. And so that's the premise of Cheaters. And for those of you who don't know Peter Gunz, well, let's just say he has a storied past, okay? And he's had relationships with many a woman, and even sometimes relationships while he was married to another woman. So let's just say he understands the life of a cheater. So I want to know, Cece, because you have watched this show in the past, and you also watched Love and Hip Hop, where Peter Gunz was actually on the season, the New York season. I want to know, do you feel like Mr. Gunz is equipped to handle this type of show or to be the host of this show?
I feel like if anybody could do Cheaters, it's Peter Gunz, right? Because this literally aligns with his brand so well. And it's funny because you think of brand and people always kind of associate it as like a good thing, it's like that's what they're known for. Well, Peter, at least recently, right? He's in the music industry, so a lot of people know him from that genre or from that lifestyle. I didn't know him from that. I knew him from Love and Hip Hop, and I watched him break these women's hearts over and over and over again, and just, I mean, really make a fool of himself. And knowing that he was going to, right? Because he's on reality TV. So why not shift to a whole TV show that's about cheating? Like I feel like it makes so much sense.
I think it does. It definitely makes sense, but also, like you said, not everything. When you think about your brand, it's not always doesn't have to always be good. But also, I think that it could be something that is helping his brand if he is trying to go more into that good guy sort of life. And the reason why, let me say this, because I watched something recently with him. Well, it was not recent. It was like I think 2019, and I can't believe we're almost at the end of 2020. So here we are. But he did this thing on Love and Hip Hop where he was talking about his his kids and his past and everything, and he was saying like, sometimes dudes come up to him in the street and they're like, yo, dude, I'm just like you. I got mad women, I got babies, I got this. He has 11 kids. Okay.
Yeah.
He has 11 children. And he's like, people come up to him in the street like wanting to dab him up and congratulate him and be like, yo, we bros, like we the same. And he tells them like, yo, like, you know what? When you stop doing that, that's when you should be, out here, celebrating that. Like, that what you're doing, you should be doing. I already been there. I've already done that. And I wish, not that he didn't say he wish he hadn't, because he loves his kids and he loves his relationships that he has with his baby mamas too, apparently. But with Tara, that I can say that. I don't know about the other ones, but like he basically kind of said like that it wasn't necessarily something he was proud of, and that because he was out there, his own words, like running around and playing a fool. So I mean,
yeah, he looked like a fool for sure on TV. I mean, so I get it.
So I'm saying like he could like switch it up. And like
I actually I see what you're getting at, right? So like here I am, I'm a recovering cheater, and now I'm helping other people get the answers that they need. I get it. I just think you have to be so careful, like, and this is one of the things that is really really close to my heart right now, is you have to be really careful of the energy that you're around and the things where your creative focus goes. And if his creative focus is on the act of cheating, I feel a relapse in his future. And I'm not saying that it has to happen that way. And for his sake, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Like, I hope, Peter Gunz, that you are reformed and you are out here doing what feels best for you. But all I can think is like, that energy, that focus on cheating does not breed positivity. You know what I mean? Like, even if he can make a difference for some people, which I think is great. I mean, I think we all have to use what we can to help people. But for my own personal well-being, I don't think it makes sense to be around that kind of energy.
I mean, I can dig it, but I think that like something to remember is that he's just a performer. So like they'll make it, of course, the producers and the showrunners and everybody will make it look like that, like it's him being the private investigator, they did Joey Greco, but that's not really true. Like, he's just reading the words off of the paper that says, oh, this guy did this, and now you'll see him doing this. And actually, I don't even know if he does that much, because on the commercial, the voiceover was still the same, like, voiceover from before. So they might just like, be going to him just to be like that personality. I feel like they just kind of needed a personality to host the show versus like it being actually about him caring, not necessarily caring, but caring about the cheating. You know what I mean?
Well, that was your theory, that mom girl.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm just saying that when you talk about like, I mean, I understand the energy thing, but I don't think that he's really, basically, I don't think he's really going into the, are they cheating on you energy? You know what I mean? Like how Joey Greco was like.
But how could you show up at a confrontation? I mean, while I'm showing you the tape of Johnny sleeping with Karen and you Lisa, and I'm like, all right, Lisa, I got to show you something. And I'm watching Johnny and look, I forgot the names already. Karen, Lisa. Okay. Look, I'm watching Johnny and some ladies in the bedroom getting it
entanglement.
On. I'm watching an entanglement. I'm literally in the mix. I'm in that energy. And then I'm in the energy of this woman who's dealing with this betrayal. And then I'm in the energy of a confrontation of people fighting over it. And that's one of the reasons why I don't watch Love and Hip Hop anymore, is because it's so much energy around fighting and chaos. And even if you're not direct, I mean, he would directly be in the mix of it, even if he's not the one doing the private investigating. I don't see how you can separate yourself from that energy when that's literally your job.
I mean, I can understand that, but as a performer, you learn to do that. You learn to separate yourself from, although there is lots of theories and theses about like, actors, humans taking on the characters that they portray and things like that. But I think as a performer, he's a little bit more removed than what we might actually think. Because like at the end of the day, he's a performer doing a job, and he's not, so he says the same lines every time. Like, now we're gonna see your boyfriend walking up to the alleged mistress or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he's still gonna feel things, and like definitely depending on the energy that other people are giving to him, he's gonna get that. He is there. But I don't know. I just think like I hope that he's also looking at it from the standpoint of a performer's point of view. And he even said when he was on Love and Hip Hop, like he was like he apologized to Tara. He apologized to her because he was like, I'm sorry I brought you on here to be in the mix of this type of drama. But when I was coming on this show, I was coming under the pretenses of a performer and like, let's get this money. So like, that's what he said. That's literally what he said. And so
I don't know if I believe that. Did you watch his first season on Love and Hip Hop?
I mean, whether or not he meant it, he said it.
I totally feel like that is complete and total BS. Yeah, later on in life, damn, Tara, I am so sorry that I did all this crap to you. And he has to apologize to her, right? Because she's like one of the central storylines. But one of his first scenes on the show is him with his new wife that Tara didn't know about, and Tara's his baby mom who thinks that she's in a relationship with him. And her first introduction is her meeting the wife and them getting into a fight. So this idea that this was all like, I don't know how I got you into this drama. It's like, dude, if she believes that, I mean, look, Tara, I know you got love for that man. I have watched you do all kinds of crazy things in the past. I haven't watched in many seasons because I can't handle it. But I know you have love for that man and you want him to be honest and you want him to be true. But that is some BS. Like we all saw that collectively, that literally his life was the drama.
Okay, but that does not mean that his intention when he first started was like, let's get this money. And like
he brought on Amina, right? So let's just back this up. He brought on Amina, who was supposed to be his artist, right? And that was supposed to be what we thought as the audience was what the thing was going to be about. So I'm not disagreeing in that.
I'm just saying,
of course, he wanted the money. It's a storyline.
You can't come on a reality show and not bring drama. Like every single person that they bring on a reality show, they ask you in the Q&A, like, what's going on in your life? Who are you talking to? They do their own digging. They have people popping up like, you like, how you on this show? You on this show too? Like, I mean, I know he brought Amina on and all that stuff, but I mean, I'm not talking particularly about that. I'm just saying in general, these shows do that. So
in general.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I think that there is a part of him too that was like, nah, like, let's get this money, whatever we got to do to get it. Because, like, really, what was he? No offense to him. Like, he did a song with Shaq, like, in 2008. But that was after Love and Hip Hop. He did, what was he doing in between, like, the 90s?
I didn't know him.
The 90s.
I had never heard of him.
You know what I mean? Like, no offense. And even a lot of people hadn't, and I say this with love, he said it himself, that he, was like a one-hit wonder. Like, so, like, you got to get it somehow. And like, you hanging out with all these celebrities, and if you get an opportunity to do something, hey, it might hurt some people, but they gonna do it. Like, unfortunately, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that that's what they did. That's what they did. Now, talking about getting hurt. I shouldn't laugh. Okay, talking about getting hurt. So, the former host, the Cheaters, which, I mean, to me, he is always the host. Like, I didn't even know that there were other hosts. Like, I stopped watching after he was off. But Joey Greco, I hope I'm saying his name right. He apparently, allegedly got stabbed on an episode. And it was back in 2003, I believe. But y'all can fact check me. But I think it was 2003. He got stabbed on an episode during one of those altercations, confrontation things. And I just was wondering, do you think that Peter Gunz would ride or die and Joey didn't die, he's alive. But do you think that he would ride or die for Cheaters, the show, like how Joey, was like, yo, I'll risk getting stabbed for this show. Do you think that that Peter Gunz would do something like that?
I hope not. Let me tell you, it's so funny because when just this idea of this reminds me of the old days when I used to work and I'd be sick and I'd be like, I gotta call in and oh man, and oh my job and what is my boss and da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like I would work so hard for a company that was not my own that I literally put myself at risk. Like this is like literally a page out of the headlines today. People going into work and catching uh, whatever and getting sick and dying and all of these things. And so I sure as hell hope that Peter is smart enough to have some boundaries and not get so caught up in the energy and the action on this show that he finds himself hurting anyways, because I don't think a check is worth a stab wound personally. Like, sorry, like I just don't. I can find money other ways. And so I really, really, really hope for his sake that he does not ride like that. This is so funny. One of my Facebook friends, you know her, I'm not going to say her name on here, but she had this post. I'm totally getting off of the subject. Is that okay for half a second?
Go ahead.
Okay, so she had this post that she had shared from someone else, and they had this whole thing about people being loyal. And I wish I had it in front of me to share with you, but it was like, people are like fake loyal, and you need to be 100% on my side all the time, or some nonsense. I don't know. I read this post like 5 or 6 times because all the people were like, yeah, agree 100, and I'm reading it going, I don't believe in ride or die. Like, I don't want to die, period. So for me, like, I'm gonna be loyal to you to the point that it benefits me, right? And so that was the other piece of it. They were like, you only want to be loyal when it benefits you. Well, yeah, homie. Like, when should I be loyal to something that doesn't benefit me? Like, how does that make sense in a reciprocal relationship? So, anyways, that's totally a digression there, but that's what it makes me think of. Like, because that was like I had a conversation with her in the chat, and I'm going like, I don't believe in this ride or die crap. Like, I want to ride and live. Like, I want, I have your back to the point of my own safety. Like, I'm not going to jail. I don't believe in that crap. Like, you're not going to be making me suffer. I'm not trying to get harmed or hurt in any ways. I'm sure as hell not getting stabbed. Are you kidding me? Or shot or any of it? No. So my answer is I hope not, Peter. I hope not.
Word. Well, I can dig it too. I always say that too. Like, I'll ride with you, but I ain't gonna die for you. I ain't going to jail, and I ain't going under the ground, and I ain't going, none of that. Like, don't put me in harm's way, because I'm gonna get out the way.
Right? I'm snitching. Like, look, I am not going to jail. Not this conversation. I am snitching. I am not the one. Do not tell me about your crimes.
Cut it out. She ain't snitching. That's it. We just emoji.
I don't see nothing. I ain't seen nothing. That's all I'm saying. You have to protect yourself in everything, right? So I guess that's my.
Because if you say that, then that's not protecting yourself either. So she ain't snitching, even if you do snitch.
Look, I'm not going to be in that situation because energetically, I don't put myself in that situation. That's what I was talking about earlier with Peter, right? You got to be careful of the energy you let into your life. You're going into a situation where you know that a previous host has been stabbed. So energetically, that's a no for me, dog.
Well, hold up, because it came out later on that apparently this was a stage stabbing, and people were saying that Cheaters was fake and that it was all staged, and like, how could he be bleeding like out like that, and like all kinds of stuff. So, and that's actually why the show had went off for a little while. Then it came back with another guy who looked like he was. Let me not even talk about him.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean, he was super like, like he had really like wavy hair and like he looked like he just came off the beach of California. Like, dude,
okay.
like,
Okay.
that's what I was gonna say. So yeah, nothing crazy. But yeah, anyways, then that, he was on there for a couple of seasons, but then it was like it kind of died out a little bit because I guess people were just like, this isn't real. Like this is, this is staged. But I'm interested like to see how it actually comes, how they do this one. And I don't know when, I don't actually have it in front of me. I'll look it up while we're talking. Like when the like season's gonna come out. Do you know?
No, I have a question, but I want you to finish your sentences.
I'm just saying, like, I'm interested to see how it's gonna be because, like, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's so many ways now that people can find cheaters. So I'm just interested to see, like, if how they're gonna interweave that and like what they're gonna be showing on the show. That's all. Go ahead.
I totally feel you there. Like I think that would be interesting too. Plus, I think that people really don't care if things are real or fake anymore. I mean, I plugged into all kind of nonsense reality TV shows, knowing half of it wasn't real anyways. But I'm curious for you, Miss Actress, actor, you're on a show. Let's say you're the host of Cheaters, and they say, "Hey, Sharice, let's do a fake stabbing." What's your thoughts?
Let's do it.
Is that something you're doing? Okay, so that's interesting. Because for me, it's like, that's a no for me, dog. Like in a movie, and there's like a plan, and that's like the scene, and there's a reason. I just don't think you need a fake stabbing on a show like Cheaters. Like, what you need a fake stabbing for?
Because it is still a movie. All of those things are movies. They all have storylines. They all have characters. They all play roles. They all do certain things. And it's like, okay, our ratings are going down. We need something. We need action. You can't have, no, they needed action. So like,
I get it.
Action. Okay,
I get
baby.
it. I am literally like, I'm a scaredy cat, y'all. Like, I don't know if y'all know this about me, but like, I don't like that. Right. And so like, I'm one of those people who like, I want to avert my eyes when there's a fight. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to see, but I don't really want to see. I definitely don't want to be close enough to where I could be, when you're in middle school and there's a fight and everybody runs to the fight. Not me. I don't want to be around that.
But that's,
I want to be around that.
Because that's me too. Like if it's real life, I'm not going. Like, no, if it's a fight, like I used to literally my whole college years, I didn't really go to any parties, like house parties, especially. So I was always terrified, like, oh my God, there's gonna be a fight. Oh my God, someone's gonna shoot somebody. Like I was just scared. Like I don't like that type of stuff either. Like if it's real life, no. But think about it. If it was, let's just assume, and we're not saying this is true. We're not claiming or denying.
Allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly. Like, right? Allegedly. That this show was not a real show, like that it was all fake and planned out. Then when you're thinking about the fights and you're thinking about the security guards coming and you're thinking about the punches being thrown and all this stuff, you realize like, okay, all of that is just leading up to this stabbing. And so it doesn't feel like this is a real stabbing. It feels like, okay, this is just a part of the show. This is the climax of the show. And so because it's all so normal to you, because it's all just a part of, you go
it's to priming. Yeah, I totally hear you.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, I think that it's kind of like WWE. Like, sorry for our WWE fans, but like, y'all know some of that stuff, a lot of it is it's tricks. It's like circus tricks, so it looks like they breaking their back or their neck or something, but they're actually just.
But sometimes they do get hurt, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. But that's job.
No, see, that was your original question, right? Like, is he gonna put his life on the line? And that's my thing, right? Like, nah, this job is not worth a fake stabbing going wrong. Like, no, this job is not worth me accidentally getting my ass whipped. Like, no, this job is not worth it.
No, but that's the thing. When you're performing, it's like you already went through all of those things. It's not like you just go there and you're like, okay, now y'all are gonna beat each other up. No, like they go through a fight training. They go through a session where they learn like how to choke somebody without actually killing them. Like, you know what I mean? Like how to, like, you're not actually putting your hand into their neck. You're actually pulling down and the person is making it look like you're pulling up. Like they're, you know? So it's like, there are techniques and things that they will actually go through. If it's a fake stabbing, they're not going to have a real knife. Like it's going to be a fake knife and it's going to be fake blood. You're going to have a blood pack in your stomach and you're going to press it and go, ah, and then gush out blood and like all that good stuff. Like it's not.
It's a no for me. It's a pass. It's a hard ass pass. Excuse my language today, guys.
If anybody wants to do a fight scene with me, you know, me and my friend Bree, we coordinate fights. So like y'all hit us up. We can do that for you.
Absolutely, hit her up. And let me say this, just so that I'm very clear. I enjoy horror films. I love them. I enjoy blood and guts in the right settings. I don't need stabbings on my reality shows. That's all I'm saying. Like when I'm watching reality TV, I like a little bit of drama. I don't watch a lot now because I just energetically can't handle it. But a little bit of drama is great. Stabbings, not my shit. That's all I'm saying. Excuse my language, guys.
Well, who's to say that this show with Peter is not gonna be a horror? Like,
you just said a word, girl. I don't know.
So we'll have to see. Now, okay, so Cece, I think I already know the answer to this based on everything else that you said. But I'm interested to know, like, what would you do if you found out that somebody, say your friend or something like that, was being cheated on, like your best friend, like the person that you love the most in the world other than your man, okay? Like,
okay.
or your sister, okay? Like if you found out that someone was being cheated on and you actually saw the act, it wasn't like okay, I'm thinking, I guess, it kind of looked like, no, you know for a fact. What would you do? Would you confront the person? Would you tell your friend? Like, how would you handle something like that? Or have you handled something like that in the past?
If I saw somebody in the streets cheating on one of my sisters, I'm going to snap a photo and I'm snitching. And that's literally what that is. Literally what that is. I'm not going to go and confront you. That's not my job. That's not my responsibility. And you don't owe me an explanation. You owe your partner an explanation, right? So that has nothing to do with me. But I'm not going to go let you look like a fool in the street. So I'm going to send you a picture like, hey, girl, don't know what you want to do about this, but here's some information. I ain't going to post it on Facebook. I'm not going to share it to the sister chat. I'm going to send it to you privately. And I'm going to let you handle however you want to move forward. But you have to be so careful in this day and age, especially with women, because like people just start making up stuff. They start thinking you trying to get their man and you telling stories. So I'm gonna have photo evidence. I'm gonna snap a picture and I'm snitching. That's my whole plan. How about you, girl? What you gonna do?
Honestly, I really don't know. I think I'd probably go. Either it depends. If it's like I'll probably walk up to them and be like, hey, and just like walk away. And that's it. And that's it. And then obviously, you know, you gotta have your photo evidence. So, or you call your person, like your friend or your sister, whoever, on FaceTime or WhatsApp or whatever. And then you be like, hey girl, what the heck? What? Okay, I gotta go. Like,
see, the only thing with that is that you gotta hope that they're really observant. There's this really funny scene from Grey's Anatomy where, and it's not a cheating scene, but it's sort of similar to that. And one of the main characters has a brain tumor, and she doesn't want to tell her family. And her sister, she hasn't told yet, her boyfriend, or I guess he was her ex at that time, but her boyfriend found out. And so he invited the sister to one of the rooms where they have all the screens up, and he had the sister scans behind it, but like legally he can't break HIPAA and be like, hey, your sister got a brain tumor. So he's just got it in the background, and she's like starting an argument with him and not even noticing that it's her sister's name on the scans behind her, right? So like, I feel like that's why you have to have like the right photo evidence in the right way, right? Like, cause this could be, she could look and be like, oh, that might not be him. But nah, dog, like I got that zoom, like you can see, you just go like this. and you see that that's your man with a woman that's not you, and then it's up to you. Like, we can't have no questions and you looking at me like I'm trying to get in the way of your relationship and cause you drama and problems. No, boo, no.
Right. Right. Now, and I could dig that, but I also think that like ladies, we gotta you love on and fellas, everybody, we need to love on one another and you know, not don't take it as like, oh, you trying to get in this way the way. No, that person is getting in their own way of y'all relationship. And you know, because I actually had this happen to me. Well, I want to tell you two things. So I had this happen to me. Yes, one of my very good friends actually saw this guy that I was dating um cheating on me, and like basically she said she didn't know what to do. She didn't tell me. I actually had two friends that saw this same person cheating on me, knew, and neither of them told me, but they tried to give me hints. But you know, I didn't know what they was talking about. And it wasn't until after we ended up breaking up that I got told, like, hey, like I saw so and so over here with this girl, and you know, they saw me and then they, you know, hurry up and sped off, or like, oh, this person was talking to. I literally had one. I had one friend who was like, oh, he was trying to, you know, he was trying to talk to my friend, like to one of her friends, a mutual friend, right? And and they were just talking. She didn't know, and the girl was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going over to such and such house, blah blah." She's like, "Such and such who?" Oh, word, really? And she called me to see like, hey, like what's going on? Like, where are you? Are you good? And I'm like, yeah, like what's up? And she never told me why she had called me until after we ended up breaking up. She's like, remember when I called you that day? It was because I wanted to make sure that you weren't gonna like walk into something or be hurt or like, you know? And I was like, girl, you should have been told me that because time. Anyway.
Yes. How you gotta be walking around? Okay, see, I have so many problems with this scenario. Like, this is like, this, ladies. First of all, what the hell is a hint? I don't need a hint. Like, I need you to tell me exactly what I need to know so that I can make a decision.
But they both
what is a
said,
hint?
but they said that they were, well, one of them said that she was scared because she didn't want that to break up our friendship. Like she didn't.
I get it.
So she was scared that I was gonna be like, no, you lying. Da, da. But honestly, girl, I would have believed it because I had already seen some other evidence. Okay. And you know, you got to be an inspector around these parts. I had already seen some evidence. Okay. So yeah, so that was a little crazy.
See, I feel like that's what you take to your grave then. Like, and I don't mean this in any kind of a bad way, but either you're going to tell me or you're not going to tell me. Don't tell me after the fact when it doesn't matter anymore, because now it just feels like salt on a wound. Like, we already broke up. That did not work out. I don't need to know now about a bunch of additional betrayals. Like, be there in the moment and say, hey, look, this is what's going on. And have enough trust in me that as your friend, I'm going to believe what you are telling me, right? Like, if you came to me as my sister and was like, dude, I just saw Jason. Yes, I have been with him forever, but I know you, right? Like, I trust you. I don't have any reason.
Longer.
Exactly. But even if we hadn't, even if we were friends and we've been friends for the past few years, like, we should have enough established trust in our relationship that we can have a hard conversation and deal with it. And if we can't have a hard conversation, then our friendship doesn't have as much depth than I thought it did.
Exactly. And but you know what? But you know what? I think that it's like, especially in the South, like, you know, where we grew up, it's like a whole thing about like there's not enough men, and there's always like people think that there's like they come from a lack mindset. And so if you know, find out that your friend is being cheated on or whatever, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna tell her because I don't want her to think that I'm trying to do this, because there's all this lack in our minds. Like, and it's like, nah, actually, I'll be good. I'll be actually better if you had just told me, because like, yo, time.
Yeah.
And the other thing she said, she was like, oh, well, I thought you guys looked happy. So maybe I was just bugging. Like, maybe I was maybe what I saw wasn't what I really saw, or like she was questioning herself, even though it was her. She more than one person saw it. So like,
Don't
and they both.
gaslight yourself. You got eyes, and ladies, I love
I don't
you.
know. I don't know.
You have to have trust. It's interesting because we're really having a conversation about trust, right? Like, do I
Right.
trust my friend enough to tell her what's real? Do I trust myself enough to tell my friend what's real? Like, it's really about trust, right? And like, we can't have real relationships with depth if we can't develop trust. And here's the thing, you got to be willing to lose a friendship. You got to be willing to lose a relationship for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying
Right.
to hang on to you because of time that we've had together in the past, right? If our relationship was meant for that past season, that's cool. But I'm not, like, we have to be moving forward. We can't just be worried about what happened in the past and how, we grew up together and blah, 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 whatever, right? Like, if we don't have that established love and trust and mutual respect for one another, and I'm talking friendship here, but the same goes true in relationships, then what are we even doing? Right?
Right.
Are we not friends? Are we actually just acquaintances? Are we just people who know each other on social media? Do we just happen to live in the same town? Because it's not friendship to me if we don't have that. So, whatever.
I mean, but the word friends gets thrown around very like a lot too. So that's the other thing. It is like you have to define like what does this really mean? Like, are we really about it? Because I mean, I remember when I was in school and I was in this relationship or whatever, and I think I called you and I called all of my sisters. We were on a 3-way, 4-way. You don't remember, girl? I ain't
I'm
gonna
waiting
put
for the
his
rest of the
business out.
story. I don't know yet. We
And
had a
I was
lot of
like,
stories.
such and such had, he got pictures with this girl. Go on to MySpace, look and see the pictures. Oh my God, you don't remember this?
I
And then
don't.
y'all was
In
like,
my space, whoa.
y'all was like, what y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? And I was like, no, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Like, y'all was ready to ride for me.
Okay. Yes, that's interesting. I don't remember this story. It's
This
hilarious
was
though.
in CC's college days though, y'all. So it's a
Right.
little different.
So back in those days, my nickname wasn't Cece. It was Chantel It Like It Is, and I had a little bit more. I had rougher edges at the time, and so yeah, I really didn't like to take stuff from people. I still kind of don't, like I have, but now it's more like boundaries. Before it was just like, don't mess with me. So it's funny. I don't remember that story at all, but it's so hilarious. When Jason and I were dating, um, I was at his mom's house, and him and his brothers were there, and his brother came into the house, and something had happened where, gosh, I think somebody had like done something to Jason's car or something. I don't know, but he came in the house and he was like, dude, such and such did such and such. What you want to do? Let's roll. And I thought I was in like a boys in the hood moment. I was like, oh snap! Like, what is about to happen? And like, I wasn't ready. Nothing happened. Like, no crimes were committed. Right? I told you guys I'm honest. Like, nothing happened. But like, I'm not ride or die. I've mentioned that, right? Like, I'm not going to jail for you. I'm not going to die for you. But there is some level of like, I've got your backness that I think that people need to have in their relationships, which is why when I see your man cheating, I would want to say something. I would want to be able to let you know, because I've got your back, and it's important to
Right.
me that you know that. So, I mean, it's a risk. It's a risk, but sometimes you got to take that risk. It's for the betterment of your relationship, but also for your friend, because like, she don't need to be out in these streets looking stupid. She don't need to be out in these streets
I'm
loving
telling
someone
you.
who's not treating her as well as she deserves. Like, come on, people.
I'm telling you. And I think because I've been on that end of it, which is crazy to me, because like, I can't even begin to tell you, but it's crazy. But because I've been on that end of it, I know, like, nah, if I've seen that, I'm telling, because that's not right. Because I felt like an idiot walking in the streets. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yo, all of these people knew this and I didn't know, and nobody could tell. That's like if you got a booger in your nose and nobody tells you, or like you got something in your teeth and everybody's just you smiling and everybody's just like, and you got some big old spinach in your teeth. Like, it's like, come on.
But
like,
it's worse because it's your heart. You know, like it's worse. Come on, people.
But yes, girl. But also, you had made a point earlier about like, you know, showing her the picture and being like, you know, she could be like, is that him or is that not him? But girl, it don't even matter. Let me tell you, if it's him or if she says whether it's him or not, because I guarantee you, when she bring that picture to him, he gonna say, that ain't me.
Facts.
Like, that's just what it's gonna be. I'm done, Rochelle. Shelly just texted me and told me who I was talking about.
Oh, I see she's on the live stream too. She said, nope, he won't. LOL.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? We miss you, Shelly and Shanika. Also, hopefully you guys will be with us next week so we can talk about more stuff for y'all. I think I done put all my business out here a little too much tonight. So I think we're going to wrap this conversation on up. CC, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I think we left it. Go ahead.
I want to know, will you be tuning into Cheaters featuring Peter Gunz?
I will not.
Or me either. But for those of you who do watch it, please let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And if you want to be a part of the sisterhood, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this with all of your friends. Guys, it's been so fun doing another lovely episode of What's That?
Just a chat.
Talk to you guys soon.